Welcome to Chads by Christ, the show about Catholic lads living Catholic lives. I'm Charlie.
I'm Chum.
How you doing, Dash? Another week, another paycheck.
Yep. Doing pretty good. What did I get up to this week? I went to a boxing class for the first time on Thursday, which was interesting.
Oh, did you win?
No, I was hitting a bag. I was dead after, so I think the bag won. Honestly, it was so tiring because it was like a intensive class. It wasn't like a fundamentals, so yeah. But it was alright. I think I'll go back. But yeah, other than that, business as usual. Really. How about you? How was your week?
Yeah, business as usual. Did a bit of stuff, work on my car. Mother's Day happened.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
Mother's
nice.
Day happened. True. Yep.
Happy Mother's Day to the mothers who are listening. Happy belated, late, it's a week late, whatever. Mother's Day and work on my car, and that's kind of just it. It's just work. I didn't learn boxing.
Fair enough.
Why boxing, Dash?
I'm just sort of wanting to be. I've sort of wanted to pick up a martial art for a while. No particular reason. Well, I guess that's sort of a reason. It was sort of from a reel that I was watching a couple months, not even a couple months, it was like a few weeks back. And it was like, I don't know if it's maybe bordering on toxic masculinity. I mean, not really, actually. No, it's not. So basically, the concept of the reel was that, like, it was on one of those, like, boxing pages. And, like, the gist of the reel was, like, a man should be capable of, like, fighting or, like, defending. But the point is that he shouldn't have to, but he should be able to, if that makes sense.
Depend from what?
Well,
Like getting mugged?
oh yeah, maybe getting mugged is just like in general, like males are protectors, so like they should be capable of protecting. I don't know, like it's that's why I said I'm not 100% sure if it's bordering on toxic masculinity. I don't think it is, because it's not saying be violent. It's saying if you need to, you should be ready, I suppose.
Right. So what you're saying is I need to be ready for conflict as a man. Yeah.
No. I mean,
Need to be
kind
prepared.
of, yeah. Well,
If someone's
Joseph was called the protector, like during, when he had to lead Mary and Jesus to Egypt, like he was considered the protector. If, something had happened to them, like, what would he have done? He probably would have had to defend for his family, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like it wasn't a super peaceful time, in those times, in Egypt. So, and they were fleeing from the Pharaoh and his
Herod. They're fleeing Herod.
Herod. Sorry.
Yes.
That's the name I was looking for. Herod and his army, and I don't know if that's what you call it.
Yeah,
Whoever
his soldiers. Yeah, they were
his
killing the
soldiers.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was an element of protector nature to Saint Joseph.
Right.
Element, like he was the protector.
Mm-mm.
I don't know, like all those things just sort of culminate in. It's like it can't hurt to like pick up something like this.
True.
Like as long as you're not doing it for the wrong reasons. Like I'm not the kind of person to go and beat someone up. Like I could not. Even if I picked up boxing, I could not. But the goal is just to, try and pick something up.
Yeah. So why boxing?
Mostly it's easy. Like there's a place like not 5 minutes from my house.
Oh yeah, that's convenient.
Anyway, yeah, and first class was free. Second is also free. After that, I'll have to decide. Relatively cheap if I do it the way that I'm thinking. Other martial arts are a little bit more expensive, and I already pay for a gym membership, so I'm not keen on paying too much for like additional classes beyond that.
Couldn't you like? Aren't there like boxing gyms that like are both? Can't you like do both?
Even that would be more, I think.
More money. Okay, you wanna learn boxing for free.
Not for free, but like more than both like the way that I'm thinking of doing boxing and going to the gym like myself combined. So like why would I pay more if I can get away for less?
Fair, yeah,
Like, I'm not treating them or anything. I'm still paying them their dues.
yeah, yeah.
Where yeah,
No, that's fair.
that's plenty good.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll see. I do sort of, I don't know, maybe want to do something on weekend as well. So maybe we'll see. We'll move to like Muay Thai or kickboxing later on down the track. But we'll see. We'll see. Boxing for now.
Okay. Start with regular boxing and then go to kickboxing.
Maybe. Yeah. I haven't looked for kickboxing gyms around me. I think
Mhm.
Maracut is probably the closest one, which is a pretty famous one. Not famous, but well known.
Yeah, yeah. And then if kickboxing doesn't work, you can try beatboxing. So it's another type of boxing, I think.
How am I going to protect my family with beatboxing?
Hey, you're the one looking into the martial arts, not me. I don't.
You're the
I
one
wouldn't
that
know how
brought
to
up
protect my family
beatboxing.
with anything.
You're the one that brought up beatboxing.
Well, it's a type of boxing, isn't it?
But
It's
the
got
whole
boxing
point
in the
is to
name.
protect someone.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to protect someone with beatboxing.
What do you mean? It's boxing with the beat, right?
With that logic, when I'm packing up boxes, am I not also boxing?
Well, yeah, that's the fourth type of boxing.
Eh, I'm too tired for this.
Uh,
But
we did
yeah.
have
Maybe.
uh,
Anyway, yeah, you were saying?
we did have a plan to talk about something else, but
I mean, you
do we
asked
want
me,
to?
man.
No, it's not me. It was like, do we want to keep this going instead?
Up to you. I don't mind.
Hmm.
I could go either way, to be honest.
You kind of do want to like
Do
dig
you have
into the
anything more to
idea of
say on the topic?
what?
Do you have anything more to say on the topic? Or that question to ask?
I have the beginnings of a thought. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I should like sit with it for a bit or if I should just dive in. Because if I
I
don't
mean,
do it now, I'll probably forget.
you could always do the book next week.
If I remember, yeah. Anyway, yeah, we'll go on to our scheduled content.
Sure.
Um, which was about a book we both read a long time ago. It was like a month, 2 months ago now. We read this book.
I only a couple of weeks ago finished, like fully,
Ah,
but I took a big break in the middle.
right. Yeah, okay, so I finished it a couple of months ago and then haven't touched it since.
Mhm.
This will be an interesting convo. Yeah, so this book was called uh, 20 something by Ron Lim.
Yes. Correct.
Yes. It is not a Christian book.
It'll probably be helpful to have the bookie. Hang on, I'll grab it.
Oh,
Thank you.
that is a good call. I will do that too. Right back. Oh wait, no.
Wait, we can't both leave.
Yeah, so yes, good point. You first. I will try
Okay,
to summarize the book. Oh, you got
I
it?
got it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You can waffle. Bye.
All right. So yeah, basically to summarize the concept of the book, it's about this guy. He was feeling very sort of unsatisfied with his life, sort of routine, day in, day out. I don't actually quite know. I'm just flipping through it now. I don't actually quite know if he described what he was doing before. Yeah, it doesn't really say. Like he describes his life before as like monotony and routine. But effectively the gist of the book is that at some point, he's just like, I don't need to conform to like this routine. So he basically just ups and starts traveling the world. And is the concept behind the book is essentially about your 20s, like how they're the craziest years of your life, and that you should take risks and essentially do whatever the hell you want. Which is, yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Okay, I'm back.
If I might be so, I don't know what the word to describe this is, but for a brown person, especially, it is a wild concept.
What's this? I missed all of it.
Just the concept of the book. Like I was going through, like because he doesn't actually describe what he was doing before.
Ah,
I don't
yeah, yeah.
like he just said he's in monotony routine. I mean, he's sort of getting sick of it, and so he
Yeah.
believes that there's more to life than this monotony and routine. So yeah, he ups and starts traveling the world, and essentially, yeah, the concept of the book is, you're in your 20s, you're early on in your life, you don't need to have everything figured out. Take risks and do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, to a
Did you
brown
mention
person.
poetry and not a novel?
Oh, I did not know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an experience reading it because it's not a novel.
Yeah.
It's prose. Is that the word?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not like consistent or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's not particularly rhyming poetry though.
No, no, this is yeah, I mean, there's structurally it's poetry. It's got the stanzas and everything, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
no rhyme.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
anyway,
yeah,
you were saying that like something really stuck out to you as like being wild about because you're like a brown boy. I'm a brown boy.
I was saying that like to a brown person, this concept of doing whatever the hell you want and not being stuck behind like expectations and routine and monotony is wild. Like I
Honestly,
cannot
yeah,
imagine what. First of all, I think the main people that you have to consider in this kind of thing, at least if you're still living at home as your parents, like I cannot imagine what my parents would think if I just quit my job and went traveling for 6 months. They'd be like, "What?" Like I don't
yeah,
think that concept is remotely like familiar to them. Like my dad's like barely taken like a couple weeks off at a time in like what 40 years that he's been working. And aside from like holidays and Christmas periods, and if you get made
yeah,
redundant, looking for work and that kind of thing.
yeah. Taking time off seems to be like the domain of the retiree.
Mm-mm.
It's more a
Extend.
generational thing than a race thing, to be honest.
I agree because even at my work, I'm seeing more and more people taking what's called a career break, which is something that my company offers. I think most companies will offer something to that effect. Basically, where you can take what's called a career break. Basically means that your job is secure. I believe. Like in essence, your job is secure, and you can come back in at the end of your career break and come back to it. And I'm assuming that's like a stipulation that if your specific job isn't available, they'll try and find you something else.
All right. How long does this career break go for?
I think it's up to you. Like it doesn't like there's no. I think it's up to a maximum of a year. So most people that I know took a year. Well, not most, but like the people that I knew took it. A lot of them took 6 months to a year. So yeah, people use it for whatever. They use it to get back to study, finish studying, go traveling. I suppose maybe you could use it as like an extension if you have if you have a baby, extension to maternity leave, maybe that kind of thing.
This is unpaid, yeah?
It's unpaid. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not like long service leave or something.
No, no, no. But it's still a cool concept. I don't know if a lot of companies offer this kind of thing. I think they do in maybe in IT. I mean, Telstra's not an IT company though, so I don't know. I
It's
don't
not
know.
something I've encountered formally, but I've only been in like 2 companies, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's a like you say, it is a generational thing, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, especially amongst our generation.
Yeah.
I think maybe because it's becoming harder and harder to get settled. Like, I think statistically, people are getting married later, buying houses later, because
Yeah, because
it is hard.
everyone's poor. It's so
Yeah, pretty
expensive,
much.
man.
Yeah,
$1.3 million for half a house and the rangehood isn't even connected. Game sucks.
but that's life, I suppose. But yeah, like you said, it's probably a generational thing. Because I'm not saying it was easier. Maybe it was. I don't know. Like there were probably different challenges back when our parents were growing up. I know my parents certainly did an easy time buying their first house and managing things. I remember like them going through it, but like I don't know. There seems to be like a culture amongst the youth here that like boomers seem to have it easier back in the day. Like houses were cheaper, that kind of thing. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe, but like I don't think we can definitively say that because there were probably challenges that they had to overcome then as well. Wouldn't have been easy.
Wouldn't have been easy, but like, I don't know.
But yeah, it seems that like income and house prices were appropriately scaled back then, whereas now not.
Yeah, like our parents could afford houses with the jobs that like we kind of have now, you know?
Mm, yeah.
Like my parents bought a house with like what seems like an entry level job.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, like maybe I don't know, like I could move to Kilmore. I could probably afford a house in Kilmore.
Honestly, I've
Or
thought
like,
about it, like moving like rural. I honestly think I could do it. It doesn't seem that bad to me.
yeah, you work from home.
Even without working from home, I would make the commute. Like it seems worth it to me. It depends on your lifestyle. It does depend on where you work. Like if you work in the city, I think you can still make the commute from Gilmore every day.
Oh, like
If you
by
take the train.
train? Because you also
Yeah.
you complain about petrol, and like rightfully so.
Uh,
You have to buy 90p.
well, I knew a friend that used to live in. I complain about petrol because my car consumes petrol. To be fair,
Yes.
to be fair, but I also don't drive a heck of a lot, so like that like costing petrol only every now and again really impacts me.
Because you work from home.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that.
I pump
Yes, I
every
agree
week
with
because
you.
I commute.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not saying that, but like, yeah, like I knew people that worked that lived in Kilmore and would yeah either work in like suburbia or even like down in like Keilor Downs, the city like near like St Patrick's Cathedral. Like it can be done. I'm definitely not going to say it can't be done, even with driving. It's hard. I'm not going to admit like you probably have to get up earlier. You have to deal with the traffic and that kind of thing, but
Yeah.
I think I could manage it.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, I probably could manage it, but
Yeah, it's not ideal. Obviously, you want to be like
I don't
in
want to be just
metro.
managing.
Yeah, that too. That too.
You know, it is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. What are your thoughts on all of this? I feel like I've got a bit of. Yeah, what are your thoughts on
Um,
it?
yeah. So I'm in a little bit of a similar boat. Like, yeah, the idea that I can just get up and leave and figure it out. Because that's what this guy does. Like, he just like moves to another country without much of a plan, and like just figures it out.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow gets himself a place, gets himself a job, uh, and
Sorry, you're cutting out a bit. I don't know if you've entirely
oh,
cut out.
hang on, I might be too far away from the mic. Is that better? Is this better?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Um, when did the cutting out start? I'll rehash.
About 10 seconds back.
10 seconds back. Well, I
Just
don't
start again.
timestamp my thoughts,
Start again.
Dash.
Just start again.
Okay. Uh, what do I think about the book? Yeah. So, like you, I'm sort of in that place of like, wow, I could never do this because I'm not allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like, yeah, the idea like of upending myself and figuring it out, that seems wild. That is wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because something that like I've come to realize about myself is like I don't believe I'm allowed to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the book, like it's in the book and like reading his poetry is like it's pretty clear that he does make mistakes as he goes along. Um, but like the whole idea is like, yeah, if you just like stay still and don't do anything because you don't want to make mistakes, you will lose the opportunities that come your way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The theme of the book that resonated with me the most, I'd say, is probably his like not independence. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Like it's him, like all the parts where he talks about like not doing what other people want you to think, or like being worried about what other people expect.
Yep.
Um, and like I'm trying to like find one of the pages or like get a quote, so I'm distracting myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Oh, here's one. Like this one here, it's like being able to make your own decisions is a superpower. Most people let others decide their lives for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, that's me.
Right.
When have I ever really been allowed to decide the course of my own life?
Mm. Yeah, mood.
And perhaps even worse is like, when have I tried and like done well?
Mm-hmm.
Because like, I can point at things. It's like, I tried to do things on my own, and it ended up like being wrong, and it was like a mistake, and I regret it, and I regret everything that like took place around it. That kind of stuff is demoralizing.
Well, why do you think you made a mistake?
Because there was a we had an argument about it. There was arguments involved, and
Right.
like I lost
Okay.
my temper and X Y Z. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Do you feel this sometimes, Desh, where like nobody really taught you how to be an adult,
Oh,
but
100%.
everyone expects you to be an adult?
Yep. It's sort of it's like at a flick of a switch, you're meant to, yeah, have things figured out.
Yeah. Okay. It's good that I'm not alone in that then, because
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't think you're, yeah, I feel like everyone goes through that, but some people, I don't know, I guess take that step quicker than others. It could be, I feel like culture plays a big part in it. Like a lot of the
how
people that
so?
I know that are like westernized, generally they either move out when they turn 18 for like uni, like they'll move on campus, or they'll move out into a house near uni or whatever, or they'll just move out at 18.
Yeah.
Or they'll move overseas. Like I know plenty of people that moved overseas for work and study.
Yep.
Um, or as soon as they get a full time job, they move out. Like these are like the examples that I've seen in my life from people at work, just like people generally in my life. Like like it seems that that's that first step towards independence, moving out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas in Asian cultures specifically, I think it's very different. Like generally, I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but like a lot of people that I know from like Asian descent generally move out a little bit later, like 24, 25, or after they get married,
Mm.
or if they move overseas again for studying, work, etc. That being said, I'm 26 and I still haven't moved out, so
Yeah. Same here. Like I am not. I haven't moved out.
yes. That seems like the first step
Moving out.
towards independence. Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Or like if you want to get married first, as in you shouldn't move out with someone. If you're in a relationship, if you want to, live with someone, and you
Cohabitation
want to be in a
bad.
relationship, then you got to get married. That's different.
Yes.
I'm
Cohabitation is
talking
bad.
about moving out. I'm only talking about living by yourself
Yeah. Living
or
by
living
yourself
with
or with
friends.
our boys. You know,
Yeah, living with friends is fine.
our boys.
Yeah,
Same gender friends.
I guess I don't think there's a problem with um different genders, but not two people, like not one guy, one girl, but like
No.
roommates is fine.
Oh yeah. 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 No fair.
I feel like that's generally the consensus. Like people get roommates, people wouldn't buy a house with number. I mean, they could. It's nothing. I don't know. If they want to, but that generally doesn't happen. Like generally, when you're buying a house, you buy the house for you and your family, not for
Yeah.
friends.
Yes. Yeah. Um. I had a question and I've forgotten it. So there's not really like any other like preliminary steps to moving out, is there? It's just that's the fulcrum. That's the event horizon, so to speak. Like
I feel like
that's
it is.
that's the point you cross, and it's like you are independent now.
I feel like there's different layers to it. Like that's I feel like the main one. Like there's also this concept of adult money. Like people make it a joke, but it is a real thing. Like
What?
moving from, you never heard the phrase adult money?
No.
It's like a term people describe when you first start having like a reliable source of income. So like, when you're a student in high school, you unless you have a part-time job, Even if you have a part-time job, you're probably not making that much. But then when you leave school, you get a part-time job during uni, you're making a bit more, and that's like, when you get your first full-time job, a bit more. Like that's considered like a colloquial term, adult money.
Mm.
Seen those memes where it's just like, I'm working next to like a guy, and I'm spending my adult money on Legos. He's feeding his family with the same job. You've never like seen a meme like that?
I wouldn't have heard it described as adult money. No, I would have just heard it as I'm buying Legos and my colleague is feeding his family.
Okay, I'll send you a meme later.
Okay, thanks.
But yeah, like this concept of adult money exists in our society. If you haven't heard of it, which I think it does play a part. Like obviously, making money is the first step towards independence. You can't move out without making money
Right.
unless your parents are paying for your rent or whatever. But then I feel like that sort of defeats the purpose of being independent. Like I would say, like you're still dependent if they're paying for you to live somewhere.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're still
Again,
dependent, strictly speaking, but like
I don't know. Again, there's layers
that's what
because like,
happens at like
say if you
uni.
move overseas and they pay for your accommodation there, then you're living away from them, so it's still independent. But
Yeah.
like, there's layers to it.
Yeah.
There's
Like an
no
onion.
one moment. Yeah, like an onion. There's no one moment you become independent. I think.
Okay. So yeah, okay, so you just like getting money and then get house. That's
I
the
suppose,
steps.
yeah, get money, study if you have to first get money, get house. Sometimes that order changes. You might want to get married first, then buy a house. You might want to move out after you get married. Like that's fine too.
Yeah.
Like there's different.
We haven't mentioned renting. Renting is a thing as well.
I feel like I mentioned renting.
I haven't mentioned renting. That's
Oh, yeah.
my bias. I don't want to rent because I want to buy. In this
But like that's
economy.
because we have the privilege to be able to live at home until we can afford a house. Like some people don't have that privilege.
Well,
Like I
yeah.
know plenty of like people in like Western families that are being charged board to live at home.
Yes. Yes.
Which is again nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with contributing to their household, but like that's money that you could be saving for a house. So if you're paying board, you're saving less money for a house. Like we have the privilege that our families are kind enough to just have us scot free basically.
I
We
mean,
contribute in other ways, of course, but it is
yeah, I
essential.
was gonna say that.
But you don't want to freeload. Like you don't want to have to do absolutely nothing. But it is free accommodation still. It's not. It's not. Even if you're contributing towards the household, it's still not as much as if you lived on your own.
Of course, of course. I kind of feel like it'd be easier if I was paying board.
I agree.
It'd force me into learning how to budget.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I don't know, like yeah, that's a like to bring it back to the book. Like this is probably why I haven't really touched it since I finished reading it.
Here's a question for you.
Mm.
If you were in a situation where you could do what this guy in the book guy in the book did, just go traveling for 6 months. I don't know, like whatever the heck you want to do. Maybe you want to take 6 months and play video games. Maybe you want to, I don't know, take 6 months and like the only thing that really comes to my mind is travel. Like when you take that amount of time off at this kind of age. So, like, if you had the ability to be able to do that, would you? While you answer that, I'm going to go to the bathroom really quickly. So just catch me up when I get back.
Oh no.
This question is: would you? Like, what's stopping you
would
from
I?
doing it if you could do it?
Well, I mean, that's not what's stopping me if I could. Like, I don't believe I could right now. He's gone. Okay, cool. Look, yeah, like if I could, I would. I don't believe I could. For the simple fact that like that stuff requires annual leave. And I don't have any of that. And like if I don't take leave, then I have to like go unpaid, and I just started a new job, and taking 6 months of leave right when I started is probably not ideal. it all sort of tethers on like what other people expect of me and my obligations to other people, whether it be my boss, my parents, my friends, my volunteer community. If I could, I would. You know, I do very strongly feel the desire to just like get away from it all. Not that I don't like care about the people that I'm indebted to, or the people that care about me, or the people that I care about. Just
Hey,
tired.
I'm back. Catch me up. All I had was I'm tired.
I mean, that's pretty much it. No, so I started by saying, like, look, the reason I can't is because of work and leave and all these things. Just started a new job, so on and so forth.
I mean, if you're doing what this guy did, I think the presumption is that you quit
You
your
just
job.
quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I sort of kept it going. I was like, look, the thing that stops me is my obligations to other people, real or imagined.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's the tension, right? It's like, I want to do right by everyone around me,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm tired. I want out. I want to rest. You don't
Out
get
of
rest.
the obligations.
Yes.
Right.
I'm tired of owing people things. Kind of
Mhm.
like, that is what I operate under. Whether it be my work, my family life, my spiritual life, which is a whole freaking other thing. I have to call the priest. It's all just debt and obligation and earning love and respect, and it's insecurity. It's insecurity. You know, as if we didn't talk about that enough last week.
Yeah.
It's going to be the theme of this year. Is just like I'm insecure. Help.
It's tough, man, because like I'm probably like in regards to this at least, I'm probably insecure in many of the same ways you are. Like it's sort of feel like I sort of feel boxed in, like I've got all these obligations that I have to meet. And yeah, like it's hard for me to actually do what I want. Like I've been saying for years that like my job allows me to like work remotely. Like I'd love to work like from somewhere internationally, and like I wouldn't even have to take leave or like that much leave. Like yeah, I could travel there.
Yeah.
Weekends would be mine. If I start earlier in the day, I could finish earlier in the day. Do whatever I want for the rest of my day. Um, but yeah, like you say, obligations stop me from doing that kind of thing. Obligations, expectations. It's hard. But yeah, I don't think you're alone in like insecurities and stuff because I think everyone has them. It's different degrees of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Different degrees is the thing.
Mm.
It's easy to think that everyone else is dealing with them in ways that I
I mean, they
don't or
probably
can't.
are. You just don't see it.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's the
something that
thing.
I've learnt in the last year. People have so many insecurities, even if you don't think they're insecure about the thing you're thinking about. Um, it's not really ideal to think of someone in that way. Like think about what they're being insecure about. But sometimes it does cross our mind. Like you'll think about someone and like maybe a situation that's going on with you, and you're like, does this person feel the way that I think they feel? And they might not show it externally, but maybe they're bottling it up. Like they might actually feel that way.
Right.
That's something that's like sort of been like a revelation to me over the last like year or so. Like people's internalizations are generally, really only theirs, and they might only come to light in like the most like desperate or dire of situations.
Mm.
Where I think it's how you handle those insecurities that really sort of shape you in the long run. Because everyone goes through these insecurities. Like I know you're saying it's easy to say that when you can't see someone else physically going through insecurities, but I don't know. Like we're human, we're infallible. Naturally, we're going to have insecurities.
Fallible dash, not infallible.
Sorry, fallible. We are not infallible. We are fallible. Sorry.
Yes.
I lose track of these words sometimes. So many words. We are fallible. We are
yes.
fallible beings. Yeah.
Well, counter question.
Mm-hmm.
If you could, would you?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Um, well, could is an interesting question. Like, I could. Like, I could quit my job and go traveling 6 months. Should I?
Yeah.
Is the question that holds me back. Like, I say that as a joke.
Yeah.
Like, often, like, you could, but should you? And yeah, that's really the question that would hold me back from doing some obligation
Mm.
to other people, to myself, to my career. Yeah.
There's a whole tension there of like
Yeah. Yeah.
doing what's right, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what we want. It's what we want to be wanting to do.
Yep.
Um, but like, how much of my good, how much of like the good stuff that I do is like legitimate goodness, and how much of it is just me trying to like suck up to people and earn,
Mm-hmm.
or like bribe their attention or comfort or so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
would a little bit of selfishness be healthier for me in the long run? Is sort of a question I grapple with.
Mm.
And yeah, I don't know how to like frame this in a Catholic lens because Catholicism is told to deny ourselves, pick up the cross, be selfless, be charitable.
Mm.
So I don't know.
I think there's a balance you have to strike. Yeah, as you say, we can't be entirely selfish. Like, it's not something we should be doing. Moral law dictates it. Our faith dictates it. Like, we can't be inherently selfish. Although, sorry, no, I should rephrase that. Humans are inherently selfish. We've had this discussion before. It's just part of our like inherent nature. But like, we shouldn't be intentionally selfish if we can avoid it. Sometimes you can't.
Yeah,
Like, sometimes you need to do what's best for you so you can function.
yeah,
Um, like, if expectations are weighing you down to the point where you can't function, then you need to probably reassess and do what's best for you, because that's not going to work. Like, you can't meet the expectations if you can't function. Like, that's
yeah,
plain and simple. But at that point, you need to reassess and be like, okay, how can I balance this so I'm prioritizing myself, but also able to meet my obligations?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting book. Like, it gave me a lot of things to think about. But yeah,
yeah,
the main thought that crossed my mind was, yeah, this is a. I don't feel that this is something that I can adopt in my life just because of expectations, whether those be family or other relationships, obligations I have to my work, my parish,
yeah,
like that kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I waxed poetic about my about being insecure and being depressed, but the book did like stir up or amplify or reinforce a desire of mine to travel.
Mm,
I'm not in a position to do that right now.
mm,
Just like logistically and like contractually.
yeah.
Yeah, leave. Like, yeah, I have to like stay the course right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like that's a holiday, right? Like this.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know if I want it to inform my broader approach to life because deep down, like I want to be a family man, which means that I need to have like the ability
Yeah.
to like stay put, even when things kind of suck.
But I think that's not the point of the book. The point of the book is that your 20s are the crazy seeds of your life. He's not saying leave everything and go traveling. He's saying do what you want when you want.
Yeah, but sometimes there will come a time in my life where I have to clean the toilet instead of playing Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but
It's
that's not what
like,
he's saying. He's saying,
okay,
yeah, he's agreeing that time will come. Like, well, maybe it won't come for him, but he's saying, like, at a certain point, you have to submit to that routine and monotony. But he's saying when you're in your 20s, you don't have to. That's what he's saying, which I agree with. Like, we don't have to. We choose to, whether we like it or not. Like, we might feel like we have to, but we could just go against the. We could just go against the grain and just not do what we need to do and do what he did. But
well, watch that phrase of like what we need to do.
I'm talking aside from like our spiritual obligations. Those are non-negotiable. I'm saying like working and that kind of stuff.
But yeah, but like even that, like I don't know.
I think you're overthinking it now.
I've done nothing but overthink for 40 minutes.
Like I'm not saying. Well, maybe me and this guy have two very different ideas of letting entirely go of your obligations and doing what you want.
Yeah, I mean the guy probably still like went to his job. He just
When he came back, yeah, I'm sure you can't leave. Well, even while he was there,
no,
like
he didn't.
he would have burned through
He
his head.
didn't come back. Like
Oh,
he took.
yeah.
Like I thought the whole point was he got a job. Like he moved.
But
He didn't just travel. He moved.
but he's still submitting to monotony wherever the hell he is, right?
Well,
That
yeah,
doesn't make a difference that whether he moved or not. The whole point is um, he was sick of the monotony, so he took a break from that. But eventually, he's going to have to submit back to that monotony, or he's going to run out of money. Unless you're like
yeah.
a social media influencer or whatever. But those guys seem to sort it.
Ah, so what I should do is be very pretty, and then
Not
people
all
will
the
give me money.
influencers are very pretty. People are being influencers for anything and everything. These like being pretty
Ah,
for
but yeah, being
cars.
pretty is like most of it. I could be like one of those like food eating. Even they're like pretty though. Even like the popular food eat. I mean, no.
No,
Just be
I
pretty.
mean
There
the
you go. That's
influencers
how
that
you
I
win.
follow aren't pretty. I mean, I don't follow in women influencers. Like the male influencers that I follow, the influencers that I follow that have built a following are like fitness
Handsome.
influencers.
Yeah, so they're handsome.
Not all of them.
They're fit.
Well, yeah, but that's
You don't follow. you, I'm not gonna. I don't want to say it. That's terrible. It'd be mean. But like, yeah.
Probably. You, you have to submit to a niche if you want to be a social media influencer. That's just the game. That's literally the social media game. You have to submit to a niche.
Yeah, but like the most common popular niche is looking good, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm looking beyond that. Like I'm looking at the influencers that I follow that aren't necessarily pretty. Like one of them that I follow that's built a decent following in the last couple of years is a guy that started working on his car in his garage, and he built that up to then buying other cars, fixing them up, and now he's like got a warehouse and he's still like climbing, like that kind of guy. Like
That's
that's
cool.
becoming more and more prevalent.
Okay. You should have said that instead of fitness.
Yeah, but like even fitness, there are people that aren't fit starting fitness journeys and like taking off on social media. Like there's this guy on social media, Jack's Fit. He's he's very like sort of early on in his fitness journey. He's still building up. Like his like lifting numbers aren't high, and like the whole thing behind his profile is that like people make fun of him. But that's the reason that he's well known and he's like gaining traction. He's obviously leaning into that. Like I don't think
Damn.
influencer means the same thing that it did um even 5 years ago. Like
Okay.
like 5 years ago you
That's
probably had
fair.
to get into like some certain niche. If you want to be a fitness influencer, you need to, you need to be buff, you need to be handsome, beautiful. I think that's rapidly changing.
That that sounds good. This is on me. I'm like not in the internet culture at all. So like
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
very narrow idea of what an influencer is.
Yeah, I think I think you've got like the I I hate to say it this way, but I think you've got like the boomer idea of what an influencer is.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Probably, right? Like someone that's like
In many levels I am old.
yeah.
Uh,
Like if I asked my parents who an influencer is, okay, my parents probably would not know what an influencer is. But if they did, I feel like they would say someone that is like beautiful or pretty. and like attracts attention that way. But I think
Yeah.
that is rapidly in our climate,
Okay, well, that's
which is
good.
kind of
That sounds
comforting,
good.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a waste.
Why?
Oh, no, I'm just being hard on myself, but I feel like I just did not say anything worthwhile for 40 minutes
That's
about this book.
but but the whole point of the podcast is to give our thoughts. It doesn't honestly it doesn't matter if it's worthwhile. We could be spouting absolute useless nonsense, and that's still a valid podcast episode. Like, yeah, you are being too hard
That's
on
fair.
yourself. I agree. Like the whole idea behind this podcast was that we don't need to. Honestly, we no, I can't say that.
I thought,
Like, honestly speaking, we don't need to. Like, we don't exactly like you said before. Well, you phrase it in the opposite way, but like, we don't owe anyone listening to the podcast anything. But we want to.
fair.
Like, we want to provide good content. We want to provide stuff that people will listen to, and we want to provide content that will help people. But like, we're not owed to do that.
True.
So like, yeah, by that logic, every episode is a good episode if you're speaking your mind. That's entirely the reason we started the podcast. And honestly, the ones where people spoke their mind were probably the episodes that did the best on this podcast of ours. Like the ones where we were just spouting facts, they honestly, like, those episodes probably didn't do as well as like us
True,
being
yeah.
real and like actually talking about people and like their experiences and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should probably look at.
Yeah, we're over time.
That's fine.
Approaching an hour again. It's been another hour one. We gotta tighten this up
That's fine.
for my own sake.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, I think the point of the book isn't get up, go traveling. It's while you're young, do the things you want. Which I think is good advice, to be honest. Even if it's like one additional thing that you pick up. Like maybe you read this book and you're like, okay, I want to play video games. I'm going to make more time to play video games. Maybe it's faith related, honestly. Like the book could be telling you, don't care about what other people, like secular people, are telling you. Stick to your faith. Like if that's what you want to do it. Like I could see someone taking that from this book.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
yeah,
not saying up. He's not saying do exactly what he did. In fact, he's saying entirely the opposite. He's saying don't do what he did. Do what you want to do, which I think is good advice.
yeah. He's saying, like, the main thrust of the book is simply like, don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
put yourself in other people's boxes or even the boxes you put yourself into.
Yeah.
Just like go out there and do what you want to do and don't do the things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Which again, I mean, I'm already gonna do it, but like again, it's like that can be like scary and dangerous with like common understandings of virtue and piety.
Yeah.
But I mean, true and legitimate charity is, totally and freely given, isn't it? Like it's gift. Something you want to give.
Yeah.
For its own sake. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I like the book. I think it provides good advice, even if you pick up one additional thing in your life. It doesn't have to be huge. Like, it doesn't have to be upping and moving away. It could be picking up a new hobby. It could be, I don't know. That's the point. It's what matters to you. Even if you pick up one additional thing, I think, from this book, you gain something. So I think overall, it's a pretty good book in that sense. Like, someone might go out and pick up a new hobby or read a new book or, I don't know, whatever they want. And that's why I think it's overall a good, like, he provides good advice.
Yeah, well said. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I am actually tired. Sleepy.
Yes. Oh wow, it's 10 o'clock. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, I'll start us off with the prayer intentions. I hear there's news of actual Ukraine-Russia ceasefires. That's neat. Like something about Putin saying he'll enter talks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. But anyway, keep praying for an end to those conflicts. You know, Ukraine, Russia, the Palestine conflict, all the persecutions in Africa, like Syria, the Congo, Sudan, Myanmar is a name on my mind, and everywhere else where there's conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for peace, pray for reconciliation.
Yep.
Topical. I'll just copy from last week. Pray for me. Pray for me and pray for people like me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like all of us, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Pray for. Ask the Lord to help me be less hard on myself. We'll start with that.
Mm-hmm.
Go from there. Yeah, that's me.
Nice. From me, yes, topical. I pray that, like me, and like you said, I pray for me, and I pray for people like me, that people are able to work out what they want is a big one, because sometimes that's a struggle in itself. Like you feel boxed in by these expectations and obligations that you can't really work out what you want. So yeah, I pray that we're able to work out what we want, and that we find a way to manage what we want with the obligations that we need to fulfill. Because there are certain obligations that we need to fulfill, like they're non-negotiable. So yeah, pray that we're able to manage those two things, because yeah, I feel like that's part of what this guy is suggesting in his book. You can't entirely I don't know. Maybe he's not directly saying that, but I'm saying that based off his book. Like, I don't personally believe you can ditch every single obligation you have and just like leave. Like to some degree, you're still tied and you still need to manage that obligation somehow. But yeah, I pray we're able to find a balance. I guess is what I'm trying to get at. As with anything in life, you need balance. Yeah, I think that'll do me. Otherwise,
Yeah, well said. Yeah, we'll wrap it up there. If you stuck around to this end, thanks so much. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you got something out of it. If you liked what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. If you didn't, comment, send us an email, chatsbychrist@gmail.com. We have a Discord. You can join our Discord, I think. I haven't checked the link, actually. I keep forgetting. Oh, well. But yeah, either way, pray for us, and we'll pray for you. And we hope to catch you in the next one. Thanks so much, guys. God bless.
thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.